AI, does artificial intelligence threaten our human identity? Artificial intelligence is becoming more and more a part of our daily lives. Have you ever stopped to think about whether it threatens our very humanity? Could robots ever be able to think, feel, and create as complexly as humans? We'll talk about the big questions about AI and how it changes what it means to be human in this movie. Are we in danger of losing who we are as technology gets better? Stay with us as we talk about the interesting and scary ways that AI can change who we are. The Writers Guild of America went on strike in May 2023 over compensation, with fears about artificial intelligence coming to the forefront of the situation. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny was released in theaters in June, and it featured Harrison Ford, who was 80 years old at the time, de-aging with the assistance of an artificial intelligence computer. In addition, in July, members of the Screen Actors Guild American Federation of Television and Radio Artists SAG-AFTRA, which is the organization that represents actors in the United States, went on strike for 118 days. The primary issue that caused the walkout was concerning the use of artificial intelligence to replace actors. Duncan Crabtree Ireland, acting as the chief negotiator for SAG-AFTRA, stated that artificial intelligence was a really important issue in our negotiations, while speaking at the Workers in Focus session at Davos. Our members are going to be at the forefront of innovation in this field, particularly voice actors. This is due to the fact that the technical requirements of utilizing generative AI with voice solely are less difficult, which in turn makes the implementation of this technology more expedient and less complicated. When it comes to the creative industries in general, as well as the television, film, and video games industries, it is going to have a huge impact and presence. Despite the fact that the SAG-AFTRA and Writers Guild strikes cost the industry a total of more than $6.5 billion, an agreement has been reached, and Crabtree Ireland is hopeful that other businesses and industries will be able to learn from it. The decisions about the implementation of artificial intelligence are not being made by AI. Rather, they are being made by humans. It is of the utmost importance that we keep this fact in mind. It is not necessary for only business leaders to make these decisions. Rather, we should all make them together. Employees and members of society should play a significant role in the decision-making process. The creative industries are one example of a sector in which, if we do not have that kind of human-centered approach to the deployment of artificial intelligence, we run the risk of losing the heart and soul of the creative industries, as well as its entire raison d'etre. This sensation of disquiet and existential fear can be incredibly unsettling, and it is completely justified in the present work landscape thanks to the current circumstances. However, there is a cause to take a deep breath. As this technology continues to make its way into the public and continues to advance, experts warn that these concerns do not have to take over. Demystifying the unknown is one of the most effective strategies, according to Schoss, to deal with anxiety that is caused by one's identity. We found that people who tend to read more and try to learn more and develop more skills around the technology are a little bit less anxious about the impact that robots and AI will have in the workplace, she says, referring to a study that is currently being conducted. After individuals have gained an understanding of the limitations of the technology and the necessity of human control, she explains the threat may appear to be less urgent. This is the strategy that Jessica has chosen herself. Ever since that initial chat with her boss, she has pushed herself headfirst into studying everything that is necessary to become the resident AI specialist at her company. I have completely submerged myself, she says. I used to ignore it out of fear, but now I am completely immersed in it. I have completely changed my mind. I need to take charge of the narrative surrounding artificial intelligence at my organization. I need to make sure that I am in the driver's seat and that I am outlining what ChatGPT and these other technologies are capable of and are not capable of doing. According to Jessica, her work is safe for the time being. On the other hand, she claims that the progression of technology continues to feel like an unrelenting assault. At some point in the future, she expects that artificial intelligence will be able to take over a significant portion of the writing and editing activities that constitute a significant portion of her current labor. She is attempting to be proactive, aiming to improve talents that are more difficult for artificial intelligence to imitate and transitioning into a role that is more strategic. Additionally, she is looking for a new method to reframe her identity. Workers may also find it helpful to examine what exactly artificial intelligence is capable of doing, as well as what kinds of human-led job duties are still irreplaceable, in order to alleviate identity anxiety. According to Jill Lindsay Walton, a research fellow in arts, climate, and technology at the Sussex Digital Humanities Lab at the University of Sussex in the United Kingdom, it would actually be beneficial if artificial intelligence were to come to replace mundane work. He makes reference to activities such as transcription, which will be completely automated in the future. He says that as this occurs, workers will be able to concentrate not only on knowledge that is more vital and less capable of being replicated by robots, but also on work that is more meaningful and rewarding, which can help them feel better about themselves or their abilities. Additionally, Walton is of the opinion that it is important to keep in mind that the workers of today are not the first to encounter an existential crisis as a result of automation. Ever since the beginning of the Industrial Revolution, people have been threatened by machines that promise to take away their jobs and the things that are very important to them on a personal level. We can learn a lot about our present and future from how people in the past thought about their future, says Walton. We can learn a lot about our present and future. Nevertheless, over the course of human history, these dangers have been exaggerated, and humans have always maintained an indispensable position in the labor force. He continues by saying, the overall message is that they got it wrong, and it is likely that we are getting it wrong as well. AI has the potential to transform both the workplace and human labor. AI will replace some employment, so people will need to adapt and find new pursuits that will give them the same psychological and social benefits that their previous jobs offered. The implications for politics, law, and society are significant. Bostrom suggests that instead of avoiding AI innovation, we should put ourselves in the best possible position so that we have done our homework when everything else falls into place. We've created scalable AI control techniques and given governments and ethics a lot of attention. And after that, carry on with the hope of getting a really positive result. As AI develops, there may be serious negative effects if our governments and corporate institutions don't take the time to create laws, policies, and obligations. Artificial intelligence will transform the way conflicts are fought, enabling autonomous drones, robotic swarms, and remote and nanorobot attacks. This is known as AI-enabled terrorism. We will need to keep an eye on the worldwide competition for autonomous weapons in addition to the nuclear arms race. As of right now, humans who develop AI systems run the danger of biasing the technology. AI behavior will be impacted by bias if it exists in the data sets that the AI is trained on. When AI is misused, as it was during the 2016 US presidential election, it can be used to spread false information and manipulate society. While face recognition technology allows us to access buildings and unlock phones without using keys, it also started what many civil rights organizations consider to be concerning public surveillance. Face recognition technology is being used by the government and police in China and other nations to invade people's privacy. According to Bostrom, artificial intelligence has a lot of potential for both good and harm when it comes to monitoring the world's information systems through cameras, surveillance data, and social network communication mining. With AI technology, it's relatively simple to produce fake videos with actual people. Without their consent, these can be used to propagate false information, make pornography, including a person's likeness who isn't acting in it, and do other things that harm a person's reputation and means of subsistence. Technology is becoming so sophisticated that there is a great chance that humans will be tricked by it. The biggest threat is the longer-term problem of introducing something radical and extremely intelligent and not aligning it with human values and intentions, as outlined by Nick Bostrom. This is a significant technological issue. Before we could solve the safety and alignment issue, we would be successful in solving the capability challenge. These days, Nick calls himself a frightful optimist, highly enthusiastic about the potential applications of AI if it is implemented properly. The short-term effects are just overwhelmingly positive, he stated. It is more difficult to forecast and remains an open question what the longer-term impact will be. The better prepared we are for this, the better the chances of a favorable ending are if we complete our homework and the more we pull together as a world and a species in the time we have left. In that instance, it might be very advantageous. Stay informed on the future of humanity in a world increasingly shaped by AI. Subscribe now and turn on notifications to join the conversation about how technology is challenging our very identity.